chills.
You make me feel. Now slide your key in. Ooh, it gives me chills. And with your engine trapped between my thighs, it's a power rush, a burning rush. You make me wanna fly. Oh, in and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Feel the wind blowing through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Pour it on, boy. Take me to the night. And ain't no stopping. So what's the use in trying? Destination. Baby, all I know is that you and me were meant to be. Never let me go. Out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's crazy, it's going through my head. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. I never thought that love makes you crazy. I never thought that love makes you high. I only hope that love is forever. I only hope that love never dies. In and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Feel the wind blowing through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Never let me go. In and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's crazy, it's going through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. I like the way that you make me feel.
Yeah. What's happening? Yeah, I know. It's good to be here. Nice to not be in jail.
That's not right.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the weekly show, Making Pax Stereo TV, the revolutionary concept of including you in our weekly meetings. Every week, Victor and I get together and we have to hash out things and talk about things. And so it was because of many of our friends and fans that we decided to start making these meetings and discussions public, because the discussions are relevant to many people who are trying to launch a business today, or who've already launched a business and are looking to adapt to the ever-changing world of social media. So we invite you to Making Pax Stereo, the show that's totally unscripted, where Victor and I get together and talk about the things of pertinence and relevance here at Pax Stereo TV, and include you in the planning. So thank you.
Bang.
So, buddy, first of all, scheduling. For everybody who doesn't know, we are officially now embarking on a whole new scheduling journey. For one, the morning coffee show is now on hiatus and is scheduled to return in September. I believe this return date is September 7th, where it returns in its morning time slot, but with a totally revamped format. So we look to be coming back in September.
Do we do one more tomorrow, right?
I don't know. Well, do we do? Okay.
You announced it last week.
Okay, so we do one more tomorrow.
This is I love how the meetings go. Just so far I love.
And then that's it. Is that the one?
Actually?
Is Sophia? Well, okay.
Remember, Sophia came and then you talked about it. Says, "Hey, you guys, next week."
So we're going to do one more. Is Michelle scheduled to come?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Who else? Anybody else scheduled to come?
Not so far. I may reach out to Sophia again if she's still around because she may want to come on through again.
Yeah, I have to think about what I want to do. I leave. I don't know what you want to do. I have to think what I want to do. See, that's the thing. Typically, people don't realize that the morning coffee show, anyway, Vic and I sort of program our own segments and then come together. It's kind of a regular kind of improv thing that we do, and we like that format. So, yeah, I don't know what okay. So, okay, we'll come up with something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, think of it.
I'm getting the dates all screwed up. So tomorrow, this week is the last morning coffee show. Tomorrow,
right. Monday, last one
is the last one
of July.
Until, like we said, until September. And over the course of the summer, we're going to be doing all kinds of new programming, okay? As it stands, the Quiet Storm is scheduled to be there most of the time. And we'll be giving announcements for when we reschedule things based on, travel or whatever that occurs. The summertime, we're really using it for revamping the schedule and for some vacation time initially. Okay, so Tuesday night, Quiet Storm, still not sure what the theme for that is. Working on that right now. I know I'm getting close to some of my featured artists, but we'll have that available today, too. But the Quiet Storm, we often do it last minute. We know we're going to have Miko there for the Quiet Storm preview, the pre-show, the DJ Miko Moods. And then afterwards, we're looking towards having another episode of the I, Victor.
Absolutely. And even though this is part of, I did share with Miko the talk about what we said about that DJ pre-show, including the drone thing, to have the music already in the background. Maybe not for tomorrow, but to use that hour to be as creative with the music and stuff. So I'm just letting you know I shared that because we had talked about the possibility of that.
Well, yes, right, depending upon what she's planning on doing. And those are, again, part of the discussion you and I have to have about as we revamp all the programming and the scheduling of the program, you guys. So, okay. So now, Vic, just so you know, of pertinence, I want you to know that things to have on the schedule, too. Because we are on this vacation schedule, and there's some events we might want to go out and cover, at least part of.
Right.
And a couple of those, at least three, there's 3 different Marina Del Rey concerts in Chase Park.
Right.
On 7/11, we have Jeffrey Osborne, Ruben Studdard, and Freddie Jackson.
Right.
And with that setup out there, we could do the outdoor food. Starts at 7, so those are events where our Saturdays we may go down and cover and get down there even as early as, say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon to try to get a spot and position ourselves and also to do food or something. It's something to think about. On August 8th is Michelle and Digio Cello.
That's a good one.
Also down there.
Okay,
so I'm putting these things on the schedule. Some of the other excursions that I'm considering for us to cover. See, this is what we're talking about in terms of things to cover. Some of the things that I was considering in terms of things for us to go out and cover include the Dead Sea Scroll exhibit down at the museum.
Okay.
And also, there is a Friday night in the garden that they have down there that we could consider sometime over the summer too. That has food trucks and other things, music.
All right.
So those are things that we could just report on. I don't know. We need to be capturing a ton of it, but you know what I'm saying. Show up. At least we got things we can report on quickly, right? Community-based things that are pertinent, and then we can have some fun out there too.
Okay.
Included in that Pax, it has to do with Vic and I. See, this has to do with the kind of shows that we want to cover as we get out. We're going to do some excursions where we get out and hang out, and people have seemed to like those. One of the things that you guys seem to respond to for some reason is where we eat.
Mm-hmm.
So, Vic, have you heard of Pieology?
No, I have not. Not
Okay,
so far.
Pieology is this new concept of custom, what they call custom artisan style pizzas. Okay, they give you one price, and it's as many toppings as you want.
Okay.
And okay, so here's the latest. It's a franchise that's been building across, getting out there. People are talking about it on Instagram and everything. And again, the whole thing is that you can go in there and you make these pizzas, okay? It's a custom pizza. It's one price. I think it's one great price.
Okay.
What is the price? $8.
That's a good price.
$7.95, and then you can get salads and drinks. So there's all these personalized pizza with all the toppings you can want.
Okay.
Okay, so I was just looking for places that we could go, possibly with our co-hosts. See, one thing about our co-hosts, you guys, as we do these, we're working on it. We're working on the excursions, but right now we've been getting too caught up in the food. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that was part of the thing, though, to merge it, right?
Right.
For us to have fun, get out with Miko and some of our other co-hosts and have some food.
Right.
And do some things. And perhaps that's what we said. Maybe this week, these are things that we could talk about doing. So Pieology was one of the places to go. One of the other places to go included the L.A. Market.
Okay.
As an excursion. We talked about that before.
Right.
And taking the
Metro?
the metro down there.
Yeah.
Other places that people were talking about, I was actually looking a little bit at pizzas for some reason. And one of the other places was called Wildcraft. Now, Wildcraft Pizza is also in Culver City. There's another specialty pizza place. It's let's see what they say. Modern, take a look. This is a place we can go to and cover. I thought it would be good for us to cover report with me. Because, once again, as I said, our co-hosts, their palates are growing.
I know they are.
They are growing.
Absolutely.
And so we find that we because it's of our job to get out, it's the different flair we bring to it. So, how we do it, why we do it, as as part of the Pax Stereo thing of just covering the whole LA scene.
Right.
Okay. Now, along with this, that's Wildcraft, and the menu. They're supposed to. They have a brunch. Let's take a look at lunch, because we'll probably be out there during the day. They have pastas, pizza, sandwiches, all kinds of stuff. So again, a different kind of a place, but we'll get out there too. Okay. One other place that we looked at for pizza was La Roca's. La Roca's. La Roca's. La Roca's Pizza is supposed to be like a slice of New York. Now, don't get me started on that, because I have family that I love in New York. They also, now Vic, by the way, when I was looking at some of these, just the first ones to start, remember, it's never something exclusive. We could always say some for later.
Right.
But this first group were pretty much in Culver City. I don't know if you noticed that. I just started with that just because it was easy, and we could branch out as we want to branch out, but just looking for places where we can hit quickly.
Okay.
And at least that other one was one of the trending places, the Pieology. That's like Chipotle in a sense. It's one of those franchises that's coming up, everybody's talking about.
Okay.
Because it's that unique concept of $8 for a personal pizza, all the toppings you want, and they do it that style like Chipotle.
Okay.
Where you come down the thing and they do your stuff.
Okay.
Boom-de, and you get the salad. So I figured that was, again, something that we could try. Depending upon when everybody comes by, like that could be even something that we try tonight if we wanted to, right?
Right.
It's pretty straightforward, simple, kind of. And again, for you and I, the plan was during this vacation time,
right,
which things we cover,
right,
as excursions, and then for me specifically, the ones where I bring some of the stuff that we accumulated, like whether the layout to do some flying, low flying, the table chairs or cooking things.
You're talking about the drones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even on the ground.
Okay. Gotcha.
By the way, using a new app, I was going to be able to report on this. Using a new app, Meetup, and with Meetup, it's much easier to look at what different groups are doing around LA, and trying to follow Vic's lead in doing more, trying to do more. For those of you who don't know, I'm kind of a recluse in a lot of ways. So trying to step out and interact more. Meetup has a bunch of things going on around LA, Vic, that was really interesting. For example, the Los Angeles and Orange County Drone User Group just announced a new Meetup meeting for Wednesday, July 15th from 7 to 9 p.m. There's other meetings that's going to be in Santa Monica, the Los Angeles Drone Racing Club. Then there's some other clubs. The LA Tech Meetup is another one. And I signed up to be a part of a couple of these future products drones, these different meetup groups. And then there was an African American kind of a tech group that I was looking at. I was trying to find the name of it for you. The Afrofuturists. Okay, the Afrofuturists. So, looking forward to doing more and more of these things, okay? One of the things I did think was for the future to maybe formalize some kind of a setup where we okay, in other words, a formalized list or structure to approach what you want to accomplish in social media. By that I mean, one of the things I thought we should consider too for the upcoming time is whether or not we put aside a specific time that we use to follow an agenda that you determine relative to social media. Because then it'll get done better. To me, in other words, if we did kind of the things you wanted us to do once or twice a week at specific times, not in any way intended to replace other things, but even if you directed it, we're all going to do this, and then during that time we do it live, but everybody goes and does what you direct, kind of something like that, where you say what we need to do, we go look at why, or you say why, like, okay, well, people aren't doing this, people aren't doing that, we need to do this, we do that, and you and I look at it quickly, whatever, and then we do what you want to do right then. Like I would too, like post whatever thing you say we're going to do, then we all practice doing some version of that. And then also with that, it allows us to work on that variable of the conversations between one another. So in other words, what I'm saying, we may have to set aside half an hour at least to practice some of these things together as a regular thing. Somehow making it a show too. That's why I was leaving it up to what you wanted to do. But it would be good if we did the thing right here. Like if we were going to have a conversation about something, we would at least attempt to have an idea and do one or two or something back and forth to try there, and as rudimentary as it may seem.
I got you. It's establishing a culture.
And I think for us, and have it be the way you direct it, kind of, as the other variable is that it's specifically, because you're dealing this way during the week, and then that way when you come to, you say, well, I want to see these things. This is what I'm not seeing. And that way, even though, of course, it's not, at least it'll get us started. You'll see something from me, from whoever, and maybe, even if it's just you and I doing it, we can encourage other people to do it from wherever they are, to log in and do it with us, but I'll at least attempt to do it with you. And how we make that show-wise, again, it's where we put stuff as we replace things on the schedule, So maybe that might be a Sunday thing or something. I don't know, but it certainly would be different what we replace the stuff with how we do it. That's both tutorial. And I thought about that as a specific need because when I was starting to work on my areas of the social media apps, like I was specifically looking at plugging in Meerkat and Periscope,
Right.
which is basically instant communication and live feeds,
Right.
tying our broadcast. So besides our regular thing, that they also go out immediately. That's my dream.
Right.
That just like they go out Ustream, live stream,
Right.
that we plug in to those other technologies, Meerkat and Periscope, with the simultaneous messaging. It has all the stuff built in that you kind of want.
Right.
Then it streams and it's out.
Right.
There's no storage of it anywhere, so there's not the same issues
True.
with the copyright things because it's not stored anywhere.
Right.
It goes out and then it's off. So I'm looking really at using that and having all the interaction while it's live.
Right.
Working on how we deal with that
Right.
for the upcoming things. That's where my head is. So specifically where it comes back to how we use our time and those conversations,
Right.
it'll all be pertinent for me.
Right.
So in that way, it also allows me to have your input from your way versus what I'm looking at,
Okay.
right, with the Meerkat and Periscope
Right.
and the other Twitter things on this side, like the tech side more, how you're using it.
Okay.
But I definitely am starting to sit there with stuff open.
Got you. I know. I feel what you're saying. I see. It's a slow culture change, and it's going to be much easier because it's so simple. But we'll get into that later. And I think when we do it, it'll be the same way you adapted to the cell phone.
Exactly.
It'll be the same.
The big single item is having phone apps available for use on the desktop. That means the same things that you're using on your phone. If I can pull them up on the desktop,
Right.
then we can display them.
Right.
And for Vic and I, that's all we need. If we can pull up the phone app on the desktop, then we could display them in the way that they come across on the phone.
Okay.
That becomes a different experience, I think. It's certainly for a bunch of things.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're looking
That works.
at. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was at least the announcement wise for you.
Okay.
That this week, I forgot. No, I forgot. Sorry, dude. Let me just show them because you might like this other one too. Masa of Echo Park. Masa of Echo. Yeah. This one, look, it jumps right up, Vic. Masa of Echo Park. Get some little some write-ups. Deep dish pizza. Whole home experiences. Old family recipes. Got a lot of write-ups for the food.
Okay.
Another one for us to try.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And another one besides masa, I forgot. I'm sorry, I had to flip my paper over, you guys. I have two more notes. I forgot. Was Hollywood pies. Again, now why so much? Only because I was searching pizza and fried chicken and stuff. We have fried chicken coming too, but it's different ones. Now, one thing about Hollywood pies, I think they do a delivery. That's something to keep too. One of the reviews I said we could do was also to use reviews of Grubhub and some of the other food delivery services during the show or around the show or something.
Okay.
And then talk about what the food is like.
Okay.
The Grubhub is the hottest stuff.
Okay.
Hollywood Pies is one of the ones that people talk about out there in Hollywood. Where is it? 6116 and a half West Pico. Okay.
Okay.
They have pizza. They have specials. I thought I saw something about delivery, too. All this stuff is this new delivery stuff. We have to decide how. It's interesting in the sense of having something, a show where we're sipping and schmoozing
Right.
and featuring a food.
Right.
Because we could feature a food or sampling, a little bit of something around. You know what I'm saying? We'd have to do a whole big thing, but we could do samplings and then do other stuff ourselves and still feature those for a show.
Got it.
Because that's another. I was just looking at things that are a little upscale, but also allowed us to use the latest stuff to do it.
Right.
That's why if we actually recorded making the orders, using the apps, and then piece that together later,
Right.
that becomes an interesting production again about how we're using.
Okay.
So now the whole question is how much of this we do, you guys. How much shows do we do where we're interacting around L.A. with places and events versus the other shows. This is another thing for Vic and I to discover. But right now it's not an issue because we haven't done much of any. So it's not like we've done a glut of them.
Right.
I think we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, we got a good example because we've been using the LZ as the baseline of approaching it. Although that's more artist performance, we're just redirecting the energies towards something that's a little bit more on the food end. And then, of course, excursions. You even talked about it as it relates to the marina. Even though that's not an LZ, that's more an excursion.
Well, the LZ too, we know is always seems to pick up during the summertime.
Right.
And Victor already has one event already that's kind of in the can that we're piecing together right now.
It's already ready for you on the metadata and everything in the footage.
So that's going to be coming up soon. Tell them about that one, Vic.
That's the one where a lot of people right now are at the BET Experience that's downtown LA over the weekend. Well, the pre-promotion of that event is called BET Experience and it's live. It's at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza, and last week it featured Jordan Sparks, Deborah Cox, and Chrisette Michelle. So Miko and I went down there, and limited photos, which you've already put together, and then of course some songs that we're going to feature as well. So I went through the footage and everything. The data's already been sent to you. It just sent to you right before the show. So we'll be ready to showcase that when you're ready. And it was a wonderful experience. I mean, the standard for what they do is pre-promote, launch the event, following weekend, go downtown, which half the people can't go down there anyway, not the same way. Wow. And it's not necessarily free. But it's a good event, though. It's nice.
Well, that's what we have to decide. We're going to take a little bit of time initially just to think, before we implement any scheduling things, we're going to take approximately the next 2 weeks really just to discuss scheduling things, right, or to make plans. Mm-hmm. And again, probably some outings, but they're going to be less. There'll be last minute more announcements of things, and we'll try to also be doing postings and things again from using the other applications like Meerkat, and Periscope.
Right, definitely.
Okay. Any word? So Michelle, any special things with Michelle?
No, I expect her to do
for Monday night.
No, usually a lot of times she'll just make sure there's any specific updates with, say, New Sports and Hot Picks. Because of the special show last week, it was a little bit different, of course. So I'll probably just carry over that as well. I'll do a confirmation with her just to make sure, because sometimes there are last-minute changes. And then I'll just do an FYI to Sophia just in case she's available and she wants to come on through. She had mentioned, hey, I want to come and do this. She's going to be out here as long as it takes and as possible. And that is the only thing, really, as it pertains to that. You will get an email with Ray Barr as he's dealing with the conversation with Shark Tank and the requested meeting that he's already asked for on the 11th. I sent you the email on that as well, with Teresa Campbell participating in the meeting. And then there's another email.
I can already tell you the 11th is going to be out.
It's going to be out.
That's going to be I know that's the concert I'm going to be trying to deal.
Good. That's
at the marina.
You want me to go for the following weekend? This what was that? The 18th. I know you don't want it next week.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the 11th, that's what I said. It's all in the holiday time now.
Right.
The 18th.
Yeah, that's the following
What's
Saturday.
the meeting about?
It's always the same. This one, I believe he's probably bringing Teresa because the coordinated approach on the marketing. In other words, what he wants to do, now she's somewhat a part of it. So she's enveloped in that, but that's totally separate from what Teresa is dealing with us on her own project, which she sent an email today as reference to it. So that's totally setting up the event guest special thing. And I think she's going to be there specifically to say, let me promote or coordinate my end on these special events you do at Pax Stereo with those special guests.
Do we know a rough date for the show that they want?
Yes, the email I sent to you, they're targeting the second and or third week. Now that's Ray, not Teresa. Ray right now of August. So they're talking about mid-August to almost the third week of August.
And we know it can be the 8th.
Right.
Because that's the other concert that we're going to be
right. No, doesn't fall on that date. I think it falls.
That's the Indegio Cello concert.
Yeah. So that's why I sent it to you to match up those schedules, because I know about our excursions, I know the LZ, I know all this is coming up, and so it will clash. So I had him send me some more advanced dates, not just a week or two in advance. But when he called me on the July 11th, I thought about it. I thought he had CC'd you, he didn't. So you'll see.
It's always good if I, even though it's not mandatory, especially with folks like them, I sure would like to know what we're talking about.
Well, that's part of the requirement that I'm dealing with right now. So I'm already following up and asked him for the more details as it pertains to that.
Yeah, what are we talking about? What is the whole meeting about?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be in detail, but just a list.
Oh, yeah. No. I told him that all dates are held only when more information is made available. But in the meantime, I still want to check our schedules anyway.
There you go. Yeah, and that was the big thing for us. It's mostly the vacation things.
Right.
But so far, everything seems to be coming around after the 11th.
Right.
Which means that's the time I'm trying to allow the first 10 days or so, even though I very want to schedule things, I'm trying to not schedule things so I can let it flow.
Right.
And whatever things I want to schedule them down the line.
Right.
So that way it makes me kind of not do schedule things for a minute.
Right.
So that's the only thing.
Right.
So cool.
Okay.
Cool. And that's so far most of the things we talked about, like I said, they're coming after the 11th anyway.
Right. And the dates that he's dealing with, the event stuff, far as what has happened with the Ray Bar show and having the guests here, he's really searching out their schedule of availability because they're traveling nationally.
Yeah, the 18th probably will be okay. Right now we don't have anything on the 18th.
That's what I said.
That would be reasonable, but not,
I got you.
Even, right now I don't have any special plans, but again,
well, it's always
always the ability to change last.
That
if we
he
have
knows.
to. Yeah, but I think it should be okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. So what else?
That is about it. I don't have anything else that is.
What are we going to do about were we supposed to do anything with Lachelle about that interview piece?
No, you know what? Because she's caught in a promotional project that is kind of taking her away until it's completed, which is underway right now. Something's going on today in New York with that. So I told her when she has that time, we can revisit it. Right now, she ain't got the time. So I would say hopefully within the next week, maybe two, she'll be more clear and free of it, because right now it's swamping her. So I talked about it.
Now specifically, then I wanted to see how you, for this upcoming week, well, since we're going to be doing the same, Monday, Tuesday, so not much a big deal then.
Right.
I'll leave that kind of open, I guess. All the stuff that I thought we may want to do, not all the stuff, but the more, for specifically, it seemed like, based on what you already did, we may want to just take the attack NIDs.
Okay.
And they actually have a game where they fight each other. We could try to do whatever. For us, like we said, it's better just to hone down on one item sometime.
Right.
So we could just do everything with the attack NIDs. Okay. Both the regular controllers against each other, switching up the heads or whatever.
Right.
That might actually end up being more than one session, but it'll be fast. And then there's the games you use it against each other.
Okay.
For those.
Okay.
As we play with whatever, because we may or may want to use those. Those are the shooting ones. The other shooting ones are so much simpler that we could actually, for example, the black special ops tank that shoots.
Right.
And we can't use that one because that's the one that shoots the little plastic BBs anyway.
Right. Right.
That's for a different thing.
Right.
But the bigger one with the foam dart, that's pretty simple.
Okay.
So and then I also thought that whatever point in time that we do flying, I guess we'll do the next level of flying inside the flight arena, just to not even deal with wind and to see if we could just do the basic stuff.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Drones, clones, and tones, you guys. All right, so making Pax Stereo TV, I think that's it, Vic. Especially, again, this week, morning coffee is going to be there. I was mistaken. It shows you how we are. So Monday night, 8 p.m., morning coffee, special last show of the season. Also, Quiet Storm, That's the last show this season. We're moving toward the summer season with everything. Okay, but the Choir Store will be continuing. And special schedule all throughout the summer. Mm-hmm. You all. Okay? Well, thank you all for tuning in. On the way out, I thought I'd give you a look at that iVictor with the photos from the Victor Allen and Miko Williams excursion down to the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza as part of the LZ, the local zone. Here's the pics. Take a look, and we'll see you next week.